First, congratulations and welcome to Slamdance. It's our first roundtable.
Thank you.
Yes! Yes! For the Anarchy program. Yeah, let's just break this window! I say it's gonna be very casual, we're just gonna chat. But before that, I still like to let us go around from Anna to give us a brief introduction about you, you know, what your film is.
My name is Anna Zlokovic. My film is a music video for the band Clipping called Backup. And it's about a cult of adults that live underground and they have baby faces and they're addicted to milk. And they just live in a crazy world that's very disturbing, but I think it's hilarious. Maybe that was my interesting thing.
It's pretty,
maybe it's about the trauma of adulthood. Is that interesting?
Your trauma? Okay, what's the trauma?
Trauma, dude.
What's the trauma?
You know, I feel like maybe just putting this out there, we're all still babies. You know what I'm saying? That's my interesting thing.
I do love milk.
Yeah, milk.
I
love
milk.
I love milk.
How much percent?
Whole milk.
Oh,
Or
milk?
2%
Oh,
or
wow.
Yeah.
How much percent for you?
For me, it's like a whole or 2%. It's like one or the other.
Okay, do you know a very
1%.
interesting thing is for a long time, which this might make me sound like not so smart, but I'm not aiming to sound smart anyways. Like for a long time, I thought like whole milk means 100%. And so my mom is a nurse, and I was like, you know, Mom, I become so much healthier. Now I only drink 2% milk. I'm like 98% less. And Mom was like, no, like whole milk only 3% of fat. Like what you were drinking before? So I was like, oh shit.
My name is Jojo Carlman. I'm in the Anarchy department here with everybody. My film is Little Wonder. It's about sock puppet sexuality.
Ooh, sounds so sexy.
No.
And my name is Matthew Nelson. I'm the writer and director of Information Superhighway. And the film is about the first human crash test dummy who tests cars to test AI and artificial intelligence in driverless cars. And the interesting thing is that it's about 11 minutes long, and it took me about 2 years to make. Shooting on the weekends. Yeah,
Nice.
That's how you do it.
Nice.
Our film is 2 minutes long. It took us 3 years to make.
Is that like 1 second every day?
Yes. It was
If you break it down, no, wait, actually, it'd be like 1 second every
Yeah, do you guys still want to talk after you guys realize he just won?
I think you just
Should we
won.
just be like, yeah, you
That's
win,
it.
that's it.
The initial pass was like 15.
Tell us this.
And
Whoa.
so
and
much puppet sex. It was just like
it was just
It was like
gratuitous.
gross.
It was gonna get an X rating, so we had to
Cut it.
cut it down.
I was like, that's out.
So we cut out all of it basically, so that we had the purest 2 minutes that was good for all audiences. Across
Favorite
the board.
position.
And it was quite the experience shooting puppet sexuality. I had never done anything like that before, so that was interesting for me. Jojo had come to me and we had talked about the concept, and he was like, "It's gonna be weird. I'm just warning you." And I was like, "Fucking love it already. That's great."
I'm Alex Italics. I'm right-handed. I'm 5'11". My film is The Order of the Orchid, which is a tripped-out, wild scene about a 90-year-old woman who decides she's going to learn to arrange flowers and instead summons a demon who sends her into a psychedelic netherworld where she confronts the manifestation of her own mediocrity. So, write what you know. You know?
It's just
Oh, and skim milk. I drink skim milk. Is
Oh, thank you.
That's
thank
my
you.
opinion.
That's why you look healthier.
Yeah, well, this figure's hard to maintain, you know? Skim milk helps.
Hi, I'm Emma. I'm here in the Anarchy blog with Steve's Kinkos, which is a 7.5 minute dark comedy, sort of a comedy. I think it's funny. Thriller, surreal short. And it's about a man that goes to a 24/7 photocopy shop in like a black, like Courage the Cowardly Dog style void. And he is like making posters for his lost and dead cat. And you find that out in the first, it's not a spoiler, you find that out in the first shot of the film. And then he's offered there to stay there forever, and then he realizes what would happen to him if he does. So my interesting fact is that I cut out an entire scene and a character named Trinity. And there was once, I also cut out a live cat that we once had in it. And the cat's name was it was everyone's favorite actor on set, and his name was Xander Van Stags, and it was cockeyed.
Wow.
And its owner was named Catfish Stags.
Fun fact about Emma's movie: it's the only one with its own hat.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Yes,
true.
everyone.
That's true.
It's a limited edition of 5,000, and you can get them on
At
my
Chanel.
website. What?
Chanel website.
Chanel
Yeah.
website.
For me, like I saw all of yours film, and for me, it's very special. It's very artistic. But there's also people, Anarchy is really like sometimes they think it's crazy. Sometimes they think it's weird. So I want to just know, like, do you think, like, how do you think about like people say like that?
I don't really give a fuck what people think.
Yeah.
That's sort of the that's
why
sort
we're
of
all
the
here, right?
that's sort of the idea, right? I mean, I don't know. I can only speak for my experience. Like editing this thing was, I was telling Jojo, it kind of took me back to college days when I was like first learning how to edit, and I didn't care. Like I wasn't following rules. Like there were just edits to. You just follow your heart, and you make things that are meaningful to you and nobody else. And I don't know. I think if we got caught up in what people thought, this thing wouldn't exist, and it certainly wouldn't benefit from that feeling of worrying about what other people think about it.
You have to care on some level, though, what people think, right? Because it's like if you were like stranded on the proverbial desert island for the rest of your life, would you even continue to make
here's the
art,
thing.
you know?
I guess my perspective is you'll either love it, you'll hate it, or you'll just be confused as hell, and that's okay. Like those are all valid things to do. That's you got a head full of ideas. That's why we're in film. We'll just do another project that caters to a different audience. It doesn't to me. I think I can't speak for you, but when Jojo called me and was like, we got into Slamdance, I was like, wow, people like it? like people liked it enough to like accept it, and then it's not talking shit about our own thing. It's just really like I never put the perspective out there that this had to be an award-winning experience. Like we didn't do it for that. We did it to fulfill our own exploration of puppet sexuality.
I think that
Just wanted to know.
I don't know. I think that if you know that you have a concept that in your head and in your heart, you understand what you're trying to do, and you do it with a lot of thought and a lot of effort and like concerted effort. Or sometimes you just make magic by accident. That happens too. But I think as long as there's something true in it, like people will pick up on that. Someone doesn't, I think, make a film that they work on for 3 years, and someone sees it and they're like, this is like trap. Like no one finds value in it. Like someone's gonna find value in it because they'll be in the same mindset, and if you've worked hard enough to formally achieve like your vision, then it'll come across. Mm-hmm. Whereas if you don't do it properly, maybe it doesn't come across. That's an issue. But I think if you make it the right way, any idea can be appreciated by the people that it's meant to be appreciated by.
Sure.
Yeah, totally.
Talking about like the length of making the film, your film like is really very polished made. So, how's that like? You say 2 years, right? Mm-hmm. How's your mental state at the 2 years working on the film?
It was tough. I mean, after the first 6 months or after the first year, you start to get a little bit bogged down by how long it's taking and how much money it's taken. I think most of us are in that same situation to where you can't just take like 14 days off and shoot an entire short film. I had actors from LA and New York, and I had to wait for them to finish feature-length films and short films, and then after that you start working on full-length movies, and then you kind of forget about that short film, and then a year later you go back to it and realize you need these shots and these shots. But I think if you're dedicated enough and you really want to finish it, you'll just stick to it, and it's kind of like a grind, and you just keep working at it.
What's your crazy story? I want to.
Crazy story?
Yeah.
Well, speaking of cats, on this set we had a cat. The cat raps in the video. And the first cat that we had, we shot at this like really amazing venue called The Smell, and it's I think you can imagine the smell. And there's like a lot of like nooks and crannies, and the cat just sort of disappeared. Don't know where the cat is. The cat's owner was freaking out. We like knocked down a wall. We like punched down a wall. We're like, cat, you gotta come out, come on. We like knocked down the wall. Cat is nowhere to be found. The next day, a bunch of people came to get the cat out, and eventually we took the cat out, but it didn't want to come out, so it was like, and like scratched the guy who had the cat. It was like an intense thing. Where was it? It was under the sound booth.
Oh. Is that what the smell shut down? Is the cat die in there?
No, the
The
cat is doing great. The cat is happy. Hopefully, doesn't remember the experience.
But now,
yeah.
It wants to go back.
now the cat just randomly like go through his Facebook and be like, now I remember.
Yeah,
what
it's like
happened."
trauma.
Don't let that go
Everything
Full circle.
Full circle. Trauma. Let's end
we
this
go.
roundtable at trauma. And congratulations again, and have a wonderful screening later today.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Big
It
kick
just
sound.
break the rules. Who said the rule? Who said we should sit here and do this thing?
You did.
You did.
Oh yeah, so yes. Whatever. So yeah. Do you guys know that before?
It's
Wait,
whole
so
milk. I mean, it's
usually
just
3%?
Like if it's just whole milk,
Yeah.
it's the fat. Like think about if it's 100% of fat, it's not milk. It's like a piece of fat.
it gets worse when you
Wow.
add
Oh, is
chocolate
that
what-
chocolate
so-
to
Yeah.
it.
So whole
Oh.
milk is
So
only
2%
like.
milk is only 2% of fat.
So it's
of
like
of the full.
it's like a yes.
Huh. So
We're learning
Interesting.
so much.
Learning about
The more
milk
you
in
know,
Slamdance
the more you know.
2018.
it was
Yeah.
milk.
It's
Or
amazing.
100%
milk. I mean, what is it then? That's got to be less then.
Well, I know. So I
That's
guess,
why you don't drink it because
Right,
it's artificial.
Right.
That's why it's like just go whole.